here we are, GESC Jakarta, ready to go with our first matchup of the day. Gambit Esports taking on Team Spirit. We get right on into this draft for this first matchup. We've got Gambit Esports, Team Spirit for this first one. Coming up next will be Na'Vi versus Vega Squadron. Pretty excited to work some CIS right now, as coming off working some Chinese Dota on my own time, which has been exciting, but whole different region, whole different type of play. And we take a look, Gambit Esports, they ban out the Drow, the CK, as well as the Shadow Shaman, but they pick up the Omni Knight and the Sand King. So right away, you've got your offlaner in the Omni Knight, your position 4 Initiator in the Sand King, and it looks pretty good so far. Not a lot of Omni Knight in the Chinese region, but here in CIS, could be a little bit different as we do see them look at this Omni Knight. For the side of Team Spirit, keeping it a little bit standard, tiny, as well as the Razor. We'll see where these two heroes go, as they do quite well in a number of lanes. I've seen Tiny play the safe lane, play the mid, play the off lane, be successful in all three. And Razor, kind of a similar situation. We see him normally in that mid lane, and then we have, from time to time, seen him go safe lane. But for the time being, just for the sake of being able to kind of guess what we've got, we'll say that Tiny's going to be going into the safe lane, Razor over mid, but maybe we'll get a better feel for what's what as this draft does move on. So the ban out of Pugna, as well as the Rubik for the side of Gambit Esports. Shadow Fiend, as well as the Sniper, is coming out here. Or is getting banned out here, excuse me, for the side of Team Spirit. So Team Spirit, bringing back a little bit of those old VP days, maybe a little VP Polar, if you remember going on far back. FNG, Illidan, DK Phobos, Biver, and I Love to Win ILTW, who at WESG in Barcelona was with that Russian squad and took first place. So it's good to see him again and be casting his games once more. It'll be interesting to see how he does, and what I'm kind of interested in is you don't see him really in the meta too much, but you gotta know DK Phobos with that signature Darkseer. Would love to see some Darkseer come out. Not something you see all too often anymore. If he were to bang it out right here, I'd be really, really excited. So Witch Doctor picked up for Gambit. Means that Witch Doctor's in the 5, Sand King here in the 4, Omni Knight in the off lane. So they need their mid and they need their safe laner for the side of Gambit. Do like their draft. It's pretty decent right now with the lockdown that they have going into this. Cask from the Witch Doctor, Burrow Strike from the Sand King. You'll be getting that Blink Dagger a little bit into the mid game for your Sand King. You want to have that long range level 4 Burrow Strike, Blink, Burrow Strike, get in and try and initiate for your team. So Spirit, they head on over with the Ancient Apparition. Kind of keeps this lineup a little bit vague. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe Tiny go into the off lane, or even Team Spirit look at a faceless Void in the off lane. Void, he is another hero that could go safe lane, could go off lane, very versatile in that way, and works well with an Ancient Apparition. You get that Ice Blast into the faceless Void's Chronosphere, and you are going to be in business, especially with Razor. If somebody's stuck in the Chronosphere, Razor's able to get that static link out there, sap a lot of damage, and work towards taking that fight. Tiny on the outskirts, maybe going in, Blink, Avalanche Toss. I feel like that, with a Faceless Void, with what they've got right now, could set up quite well for Team Spirit. And then for Gambit Esports, so they're looking for their mid, they're looking for their safe laner right now. They have some sustainability with Omni Knight. Good team fight here with the Sand King. Pick-off potential too with Witch Doctor, as well as that Sand King. Now we get a movement into the Chen, keeping this draft wide open. It's definitely interesting to see Omni Knight as well as the Chen, where maybe this draft isn't going exactly as I thought it would be going, because honestly at this point I'm a little lost with this Chen. It's due to my inexperience as a caster. But Chen, Omni Knight, Sand King, Witch Doctor for the side of Gambit Esports. More pick-off potential. You take that, take a neutral creep, get the ensnare, go for the shockwave. Why not get both? Then you've got pick-off potential in the cask, the Burrow Strike. You can really chase down a couple of these heroes on the side of Team Spirit and work with some early aggression. As for the side of Team Spirit, they do have the opportunity at early aggression too. Avalanche Toss for Tiny with the chilling touch of Ancient Apparition. I assume if Tiny's going to go in the safe lane, he's probably going to be somewhere with a tri-lane of sorts, as they do also still need their position for Roamer. So we'll see what Team Spirit want to do in terms of that, as they've got this Razor, Tiny, Ancient Apparition. Something that does work well with an Ancient Apparition as well as a CK. CK could go the safe lane, Tiny in the off lane, Razor in the mid lane. But they are going to show their hand, go to the Brewmaster, Brew off lane, probably Razor in the mid lane, and Tiny safe lane. So it's control for the side of Team Spirit. Get that Brew split out there. Cyclone, as well as the stun with the rock. It's quite nice, and a lot of damage that comes out from that Brew split. As well as the fact that Brewmaster is a Blink Dagger carrier. Blink, Thunderclap, he's an initiator with that. You usually Blink, Thunderclap into a Brew split. I wouldn't be too surprised to see a Tiny go with the Blink Dagger. It seems Tiny players have been favoring the Blink Dagger a little bit more in recent history. Was Shadowblade for quite some time, but I guess the consensus is out on it, as a lot of these safe lane Tinies instead have been going for the Blink Dagger instead of that Shadowblade. So now you're coming into these last bans for each side. And it's going to be Storm. So Storm banned out, maybe not going the way I think Team Spirit's going to go with this. Thinking about Gambit Esports lineup, is it going to be hard carry Omni Knight? I'm yet to see that, so we'll definitely have to figure out where Gambit's going with this. Daxic in the 1, G in the 2, Cheshire Cat in the 3, Big Gnome in the 4. Always want to fly in that 5. They ban out the Medusa, they go to the Earthshaker. So Earthshaker a good 4. Earthshaker's got that fissure, has that team fight. And classic combination of the Earthshaker as well as the Ancient Apparition. Echo Slam with the Ice Blast. I like it from Team Spirit. I really like it from Team Spirit. A couple of, maybe too many Blink initiators, which might pull Tiny into the Shadowblade. So we'll have to see what they want to do. I wouldn't mind Shadowblade on the Tiny with the Blink on the Brew and the Blink on the Earthshaker. Earthshaker 4, Brew in the off lane. And last pick, that position 1 Terrorblade. So G is their position 2. So it's going to be mid Omni Knight. Always want to fly in that 5 position. Witch Doctor, Big Gnome there 4, which means off lane Sand King. So that puts Brew in the off lane now against the Terrorblade. Terrorblade's going to be able to, with Metamorphosis early, Big Gnome roaming around with that Chen. I have a feeling DK Phobos is in for a very rough lane. And thank you, Team Spirit, for using your nicknames. I really do appreciate that. As you've got Biver on the Earthshaker, DK Phobos on the Brewmaster, FNG on the Ancient Apparition, Illidan on that Razor, and I Love to Win on the Tiny. We'll have to see how mid Omni Knight really plays out. If he is actually going mid. On my info sheet, I do have G as the 2 positions, so we'll have to see if that is going to end up being G on the Omni Knight mid. Up against Razor, I don't know. Actually, no, he's not going to be up against the Razor. He's going to be up against the Tiny. Because that's Illidan on the Razor. That'll put him in the safe lane. So, gotta put my settings on. Always forget. Was on my own channel. Turned off Dota for just a moment. Let's get this underway. Let's take a look. A little bit of a quick smoke coming out from Team Spirit, who are on the Dire side. And then on the other side will be Gambit, Radiant. So let's see. Let's see how this goes. Razor in the safe lane, Tiny mid. Not too surprising. I was, for a moment, thinking that Tiny was going to go in the safe lane. You get used to that kind of thing when you see it in Chinese Dota all the time. Every single game with the Death Prophet mid. But they're switching it up on me. I kind of like it. So let's see. A little bit of spinning going on. I really do think that this off-lane brew, DK Phobos, I feel bad for you because there's going to be nets thrown your way, Metamorphosis with Daxic, but Daxic setting up over mid. Omni Knight in the off-lane. I'm going to stop guessing. Honestly, I'm just going to see how this goes. I'm getting really, really confused, really interested in how they want to play this out. We'll have to take a look. Sand King going to show over on this top bounty rune on the Dire side. Got FNG here with Illidan, so Chilling Touch should be available if they take that level 1. Just going to sap this damage with the Static Link. 29 damage taken his way. That'll back off this Sand King and let Illidan grab this bounty rune. So, 3 bounty runes for the side of Team Spirit. 1 bounty rune for the side of Gambit. Already a little lead for Team Spirit, of course. So, okay, it does set up that Omni Knight's going to be over mid. You've got Daxic heading over to the safe lane. He'll be here up against the Brew. And he's also here with the Witch Doctor. So for right now, the Witch Doctor with the Terrorblade over bottom, Cask as well as a Metamorphosis. I can see DK Phobos finding himself in a little bit of trouble. Right now, Bignum just blocking over in the off lane, trying to help out this Omni Knight. Or actually helping out this Sand King again, excuse me. And it's Illidan here with FNG, so they don't have the Repel to work with. They're going to be eating this Static Link. Sand King, level 1, maybe going to go to Burrow Strike. I would assume possibly Caustic Finale to try and get these last hits. Wouldn't be surprised to see that one, too, either way. But it looks as though this Razor is going to have a decent time over top. I think the only big factor that might come his way is Bignum. Gotta see whether or not he goes in with the Dark Troll, have that ensnare, and try to work with the Burrow Strike to get a kill early on Illidan. But you gotta watch out. The Static Link's available, as well as the Chilling Touch at level 2 for Ancient Apparition, because he went with the Cold Feet. It'll be interesting to see how Gambit go about this. We'll take a look over mid. G here up against I Love to Win. The Tiny here up against the Omni Knight. And Tiny should do decently for right now. A lot of sustain for the Omni Knight in the Purification. A bit mana heavy for a 300 mana pool, but after that, I think I Love to Win, at least with the Tree Grab, should be able to output some good damage, but already Soul Ring here for G, so mana not going to be much of an issue. A lot of these lanes really do come out to the rotations that'll come from their side, and already 12-3, beating this mid-Tiny right now in terms of CS, is the Omni Knight. Now you've got double damage picked up for I Love to Win, so we should be able to even out this lane. Let's take another look over top. Sand King here by himself for now. Again, Bignum is trying to grab some creeps, and he will go for that Hellbear. Tiny again over mid. Just watching him get a little bit low. Uses that salve to get to full health. G with the Soul Ring. I Love to Win. He's also got a Soul Ring, so mana not a problem for either of these heroes. Again, I really do think it comes solely on who rotates and when. I think the rotations for the side of Gambit could be a little bit better. They've got the Witch Doctor to work with, as well as the Chen. That's a possible ensnare, as well as a Cask. That's good lockdown to go on any of these heroes on the side of Team Spirit. For right now, you've just got the Hellbear working in the off lane, trying to open up some space for the Sand King, who did go 1, or now 2-1 in the Burrow Strike, as well as the Caustic Finale, trying to get those last hits and contest with the Razor. And the Burrow Strike comes out immediately. They've got the Cold Feet coming through. Hellbear just trying to find something. Just trying to push back the Razor, open up this farm for the Sand King. Meanwhile, over mid, G-Force to use that last bit of regen as he does eat that salve. And I Love to Win. He's got another salve ready to go. As the Fissure comes out, I Love to Win's going to run in with the Avalanche Purification to keep him healthy. Bibber as well as I Love to Win chasing near this tier 1, but they're just not going to have that damage. They had the toss available maybe to throw him back towards their tower, but Team Spirit just not finding that first blood just yet. And 4 minutes in, we're still looking for that first blood. So a little pause coming out for the side of Team Spirit. Just need 1 second. I'm used to pauses. Again, Chinese Dota has a lot of these. So let's take a look. We've got Terrorblade over here, bottom, as one in the Conjure image, 2 in the Metamorphosis. This is really where I think Gambit could make a move, especially with a big num rotation, but he seems to have been settling into this off lane to make it a dual lane. Don't exactly think they need the Chen to make something happen over bottom. Just DK Phobos going out a little bit too far. All of a sudden, Conjure image comes through with a Metamorphosis and a nicely placed Cask. DK Phobos going to find himself in trouble. Over mid, you take a look again. G, no regen right now, so Soaring going to be a little bit more dangerous than it once was. Especially to use against I Love to Win if Biver were to come back. But Biver's heading over to the bottom lane, so dual lanes bottom for both teams. And dual lanes over top as well. I'm just not used to it. What happened to the dual lanes mid? I feel like every game you either see 2 or 3 heroes in the dual lanes over mid. Well, not today, apparently. Why is this not just working on something? Trying to figure out why this isn't looping and going in a slideshow. There we go, automatic. That should work. So let's see. Going into this mid game, I mean, I like Terrorblade at any moment. Terrorblade down 15,000, Terrorblade down 20,000. There's always a chance as long as he's got a team around him, especially with the control that Gambit brings to the table. Burrow Strike, the possible ensnares, the sustain they have in the Purification, as well as the Guardian Angel, and of course the stun from Always Want to Fly with this Witch Doctor. I feel like there's enough control there that even if Terrorblade were to get to a slow start and fall behind, there's always a chance for Gambit to bring the game back. That's just the life of a Terrorblade. Then you take a look over here for the side of Team Spirit. You're looking at Ancient Apparition, who's mainly there, I would say, for the Ice Blast and the Chilling Touch. Not sure how many times Cold Feet is going to proc over, but you take a look at the Brew. He's there with control once he gets that Brew split. He's got that stun, he's got that Cyclone. If you can Cyclone the Terrorblade out of these fights for long enough, you can go after the rest of the team, and that's where Tiny comes in. He blinks in, Avalanche Toss, you take out a support, you take out a Witch Doctor, or you take out a Chen. It's going to be hard to kill an Omni Knight come the mid-game, I would say, with burst damage like that. And then you're hoping to really group them up, get that nice Echo Slam. A lot of AoE abilities here for the Dire side to work with. I just don't know how well Omni Knight's going to do, if he's going to be able to do enough for the side of Gambit. Let me just fix that. There we go. And then we're ready to go. Underway once more. Let's take a look over bottom, because I thought they might go in on DK Phobos, but not throwing that Cask in the bounty room picked up now by Biver. So Daxic just trying to farm up as much as he can, and this is not something you see all too often with the Terrorblade, just a little lack in aggression right now. Not too bad. Thunderclap comes out from DK Phobos. Sometimes you see very aggressive Terrorblades where they want to make kills happen early, and that finds them behind. If they die, they get a little too aggressive, they get killed off once or twice. So maybe Terrorblade just sitting back, knowing the power of the brew, making, knowing that with Drunken Haze, it may not be an easy kill, especially with the Thunderclap coming in. And if a rotation comes out from the Earthshaker, could just turn around on them. But as I say that, they go for the cast with the Maledict. Daxic not using that Metamorphosis just yet. Conjure Your Image comes through. But again, just not going in. They use the cast as well as the Maledict. Always want to fly back to that clarity. DK Phobos able to stay in lane, continue to get some farm. Let's take a look over top. They've got the Hellbear as well as the Centaur. So they've got lockdown in the Burrow Strike with the War Stomp. A little bit of damage with the Thunderclap. So we'll see how Illidan really manages in this lane. He's not doing too poorly, but he can't really stick in and punch right now up against the Sand King, knowing that these are available for Bignum. Just trying to lock him down long enough and maybe get a first blood kill over on the Razor top. So a little Shrine play coming out from Team Spirit. They've got FNG Biver here as well as I Love to Win. They're going to make their way over towards the top lane. I think this is them going for that first attempt with a big rotation over top. They actually send the Tiny back towards mid, so they don't bring them along, and this ward's going to spot them out, so already a little bit too late. First blood not going to go the way of Team Spirit over top. Interestingly enough, this game is still first bloodless 6 minutes in. I don't know if I've ever seen this before. I don't know what the latest first blood I've ever seen has been, but this is definitely getting up there in terms of the clock with lineups that, in my personal opinion, I think could be very aggressive. But they're sitting back, respecting each other's, respecting each team, and not putting themselves too far out there to get caught out. And as I say that, Biver getting spotted here by Bignum as well as Cheshire Cat. So they'll push him all the way back, gets to the high ground. Nobody turning on this. Razor not coming over, FNG not coming over as well. Meanwhile, DK Phobos with the salve over bottom, so he's okay still. They send Cheshire Cat back with Bignum, and they're going to find the Burrow Strike, possibly finding first blood. FNG's in a lot of trouble. The Tornado coming in from that Wild Wing. They'll get first blood. Now they've got this static link, and they've got Biver to worry about. Stop that TP. The Burrow Strike to the low ground for Cheshire Cat. Bignum's going to fall, so Illidan gets one in return, and it ends up being a 1-for-1, but here comes I Love to Win. Avalanche toss with the Totem, and Biver will grab the kill. The Enchant Totem doing the damage there to kill off Cheshire Cat. They'll end up getting a 2-for-1. They don't get the first blood, but they'll happily take that trade in their favor by just a bit. So 2-1 in favor of Team Spirit early on. Ancient Apparition getting caught out a little bit in the trees. Burrow Strike's there, and this far in when you've got a Burrow Strike at level 3, as well as the Chen helping you out, it's not very easy for an Ancient Apparition to survive that. So Cast comes down on a DK Phobos. Thunderclap is available, as well as the Bruce Blade. He tries to use it, and the Cast goes back. Avalanche, as I Love to Win, has made the rotation over bottom. You could always want to fly. One more shot will go down, but he actually walks away. The Bruce Split is here to go in on Daxic, but they're not going to get anything. G's made his way over bottom. They have the Purification to work with. The stun thrown out, and that is Bruce Split down for not even a kill. DK Phobos has to walk back. I really thought I Love to Win was going to get that Witch Doctor, but he focuses his attention on the Terrorblade, and he lets that Witch Doctor walk away. And not exactly the best move I've ever seen from I Love to Win, especially with a Tiny where you could have gotten that kill. So Sentry Ward is here, spotting Biver, or Biver. They've got level 6 available on this Sand King. Cheshire Cat now with the Epicenter. Burrow Strike to work with. Bignum, he's got the Ensnare too. So Burrow Strike, Ensnare, Epicenter charged up. Could have yourself a kill going the way of the side of Gambit. As for this Brewmaster, DK Phobos just forced to farm right now as he's got 73 seconds until he's got that Brew Split again. I Love to Win. His farm has been quite decent, and 9 minutes in, we'll switch it over to the net worth. We do see he's topping the net worth, followed by Illidan, who did get that kill over top after they gave up first blood with the Ancient Apparition FNG. You speak about FNG, he's level 4. Has 2 in the Cold Feet, 2 in the Ice Vortex. Not taking any in the Chilling Touch, which is a little bit surprising to me. And over bottom, they send the Sand King, and they get the kill with the Epicenter as well as the Metamorphosis. Well played, T-Tors on my part. But it's only the first one. 75% kills have been on camera. Cold Feet come out on a Cheshire Cat. He still has that Burrow Strike to work with. But they're thinking about going back in. They still have Metamorphosis to play with, as well as the Burrow Strike and the Cask. I wouldn't be surprised if they do look to turn it around, posture up, but under this tier 1 tower, it's a bit of a risky maneuver. So that opens up a little bit of farm for G, as they did send Ilov to win over bottom. He's going for the drums first. Let's take a look over top. The ensnare is out, as well as the shockwave from 2 Satyr creeps. And actually having to deal with both these shockwaves constantly getting thrown at him. Over mid, meanwhile, is a smoke. 3 heroes coming over for Team Spirit. They'll start it off with the Fissure, the Cold Feet, the Avalanche, the Toss. There's the Thunderclap. And Ilov to win. We'll grab that kill over mid. They take out G. They take out this Omni Knight. That's a very easy rotation coming through for Team Spirit, but you leave that Brew out of the off lane. That opens up the space for Daxic to continue to farm. He's actually still here with Cheshire Cat, which is a little bit surprising in my part. You want to kind of keep the lane open, get Terrorblade his farm, work towards this early part of the game to get his items, get those levels out. Sand King does end up rotating back over top with the Witch Doctor. Fiver here with the Earth Shaker. So some control just in case they do want to go in onto this Razor. The Storm is going to be down. A little bit low on mana as well is Illidan. FNG level 6 has the Ice Blast available. DK Phobos going for that blink eventually. Also sent Ilov to win here, so they need the vision on the Terrorblade. They want to lead with that Ice Blast. Unfortunately, Terrorblade's now made his way over mid with Always Want to Fly. They're going to smoke up, head over top, try to get this kill on Illidan, and shut down this Razor who's second in the net worth. They won't find the Tiny over there. Tiny is right now over bottom, but coming over will be Ancient Apparition with the Brewmaster through mid. So on the back lines, they might find the Omni Knight. A couple of heroes are here over top. The cast jumps out onto Illidan. They continue to move on forward. The ulti from Witch Doctor as well. And this isn't going to work out for a kill just yet, but over on this Fiver Earthshaker, the Epicenter hits. Not enough just yet. One more shot. Can he get it? Still surviving. Caustic Finale, not enough. There's the Andagon coming out from Bignum. The Burrow Strike just to get away. And now, tossed on to Illidan will be Bignum. They'll get at least one. They chase for more. They look at Always Want to Fly. Here comes DK Phobos, but the cast keeps him alive for now. Just extending what looks to be the inevitable. They're looking for this Thunderclap and the rest of the team. Toss on to Always Want to Fly. Thunderclap. DK Phobos gets the kill. It's a 2-for-0, and surviving is Biver. Wow. They had him down to about 30 health. Not enough. Needed one more shot on him. Thunderclap now on Daxic. Losing that Metamorphosis down for 104 seconds, but the rest of the team not going in. Let's take a look over at this Tiny. Still has himself the Soul Ring. Courier coming in, dropping off those drums as well as another TP scroll. DK Phobos has the Morbid Mask. So let's see how quickly this Brew can get that Blink Dagger, lead with the Blink as well as the Thunderclap. And then Illidan over here with the Phase Boots as well as the drums, so going to be very fast for this Razor. Let's see if next it's going to be possibly an SNY. We take a look over bottom. Ice Blast being sent all the way down. Cheshire Cat as well as Daxic are here. The Ice Blast not going to hit on anything, but it will clean up the creeps. So this ward does spot Ilov to win as well as Biver coming over towards bottom. They also sent FNG down here, so 4 heroes here while Illidan just continues to farm up. Looks as though he's going for the Yasha next. So starting to corral these heroes of Gambit is Team Spirit. Just pushing him back by that tier 1, continuing to pushing that net worth on Ilov to win. I'm interested to see if he's going to go the Shadow Blade build or the Blink Dagger builds.
Radiant's bottom tower faces a stiff wind.
Echo Slam available with this Earthshaker, so they might be looking to fight. The warding here from the Radiant side is enough to spot this out. Make sure they don't get caught off guard, but it looks as though they might just give up this tier 1 tower despite having this vision. They're going to try and trade a tier 1 over mid. The tier 1 bottom's getting taken out quite quickly, and they'll send the Razor over. So Illidan here to defend. Always Wanna Fly is going to die to DK Phobos. Off camera. They're coming through the jungle. They had that vision, and they still weren't back enough to make sure that Always Wanna Fly survives. I was thinking that maybe something would break out over mid, and still possibly can as DK Phobos walks into G. Purification already used, and now with the Fissure, they're going to continue to chase the Echo Slam just on G. But with the Brew Split, this should possibly be an easy kill on G. He's trying to run to his team who's over top, but it's just not going to be quick enough, and nobody coming over to save him. Illidan will get the kill on G, and it's now 7-2 in favor of Team Spirit. All the while, Gambit, they're going for a tier 2 over top. This is still with Isle of Twin pushing bottom, and now he is going to go for that Shadow Blade, it seems. So, Gambit gonna try and take Roshan. They don't have Brew Split to work with, no Echo Slam, no Ice Blast. This is a slow Rosh, but with nothing up for the side of Team Spirit, Gambit, they're going to be free to take it. They're going to have themselves the Aegis down by 4,000 net worth. Not a problem if they can grab the Aegis on Daxic. Then they'll wait for Metamorphosis to come through. And then probably fight again. Wait to farm. No, wait and farm with that Aegis. So Daxic picks it up. He's got the Dragonlance Aegis as well as the Aquila going into that Yasha. Let's see. I Love to Win has finished off that Shadow Blade and has gone to the Shadow Blade. Now that you see that Team Spirit, they've got 2 Blink Dagger carriers. Vlad's out on DK Phobos. You're going to have a Blink Dagger on Earthshaker, just enough gold for it. So your Blink Initiators are already there for Team Spirit. Tiny, they have been favoring the Blink Dagger recently with the Tiny, but not going to be necessary. He's going to be able to go for the Shadow Blade. So with this Aegis, it'll build enough space for Terrorblade to continue to farm. Again, I said it earlier, Terrorblade down 5,000, 10,000, 15,000. Always has a chance to bring these games back, especially with the team around him that has the control. My only real question is, how is Omni Knight really going to do? He's got 4 staff phase boots. He was in an off-lane position, and his farm is nice, and it's more than the brew, but the question becomes, how much does he really do with a 4 staff and phase boots? While DK Phobos, with Vlad's in a blink, is going to do way more in terms of initiating and getting his team in there. Blink, Thunderclap, as well as the brew split. I feel like, despite being below the Omni Knight, with the items he's going to be getting, still does more than the Omni Knight at this moment.
Dire's middle tower was denied. They're trying to bring down Radiant's top
They
tower.
are coming over towards bottom. Meanwhile, their tier 1 over mid is already gone. They're going to try and take this tier 1 bottom. Should successfully get it. Nobody coming to rotate for the side of Team Spirit. This is Gambit getting a little bit more farm and actually trying to possibly rotate to defend either top or mid. They send a couple of heroes over mid. They've got Cheshire Cat as well as G here. Meanwhile, over top, Always Wanna Fly just trying to defend for his team. Daxic now with the Metamorphosis and the Aegis. Wouldn't be surprised to see maybe Gambit be the ones who try to be the aggressors. Work with that heavy damage of the Terrorblade, who's now got that Yasha and going for the Manta style. Now have to win Shadowblade, AC next. And Biver with the Blink Dagger, so they have their Blink there. They have their Blink on the Brew, so their Blink initiation is all set and ready for the side of Team Spirit. And if I'm the side of Gambit, I'm going to be a little bit scared. I haven't been shown these Blink Daggers just yet. You have to assume they're coming eventually. but this could ultimately serve to be a problem. Blink Thunderclap right on the Cheshire Cat, so that is the showing of the Blink Dagger there, and for Viber as well. They use the Echo Slam. Burrow Strike comes out on both of them. Now they've got to look to chase the TP out, and Echo Slam used as well as premiering those Blink Daggers. And that's another weak Echo Slam. And Cheshire Cat has no problem just Burrow Striking and walking into the trees and TPing out. Oh, okay. G with the Force Staff getting over the Fissure, but right into the hands of I Love to win. The Shadow Blade. Avalanche comes through on Always Want to Fly. There's the toss forward. Ice Blast trying to lead your target, but he ends up getting away into the hands of DK Phobos, and there's the Bruise Split. They stun up the Witch Doctor, get that kill. They'll look over at G, who's going to try and get to the low ground, but there's the Cyclone thanks to the Brewmaster Split. They slam him back down to earth, stun him again. The Fissure comes out. Avalanche, Force Staff again, saving him. Epicenter over mid. They'll kill off Illidan, who is the carry here for the side of Team Spirit. So right now it's a 1-for-1. They're going to turn it around on Team Spirit. The Metamorphosis used by Daxic. They continue to chase on the Biver, and he's able to make his way out just for now with the Blink just away. But also will kill off FNG, and it's a double kill here for Daxic. So terribly cutting down on this network, showing just how strong he is with the Metamorphosis. Still has that Aegis to work with. I wouldn't be surprised to see a push, maybe taking down that tier 2 over mid for the side of Team Spirit. Fissure comes out on 2. Avalanche toss. They'll clean up Bignum. Now they look at Daxic. Metamorphosis is going to run out. Backlines you've got Always Want to Fly with this Sand King. And we'll just ensnare ILTW. Make sure he doesn't have the ability to chase this terribly. But he does no longer have the Aegis, so it's been reclaimed, working on that Manta style. And it's still behind 4,000 net worth, but Daxic looked pretty decent overall. I feel like they look kind of decent just because of the strength of Terrorblade. The Terrorblade with Burrow Strike, Epicenter, the Chen, the sustain there, going for the mech now. Gambit for sure have a chance to win this game, and it's only 4,000 net worth. That is nothing to come back from with Dota these days. Let's see. DK Phobos. We've seen a couple of Brewmasters, at least in the Chinese region, go to the Midas and then the Radiance after the Blink. But that doesn't seem to be the case. He's looking for an AC as well. Tiny Ice Blast, Avalanche toss. Bignum goes down. Ice Blast not even necessary at that point. LTW also going for the AC. Quite a bit of gold stored up here, and not sitting top of the net worth, but keeping up with the Terrorblade. Top of the net worth right now is Illidan. SNY with the phase boots as well as the drums. So he's saving up 3,000 gold, going and looking for his next item. And over mid again, it looks as though Team Spirit, they kind of want to be aggressive. They want to fight. Fissure comes through onto the Witch Doctor. Not really the target for that, and that is the Centaur creep. Over bottom, DK Phobos just continuing to cut this creep wave. Look for the tier 2. Take this tower bottom. Get a little bit more gold. And with ILTW coming over, the glyph will be used. They'll grab another tree. Continue to thwack at this tier 2. Running right into the Earthshaker. There's the Fissure with the totem. FNG drops. This is a fight possibly about to break out between Gambit and Spirit. Always Want to Fly is going to use that Casca. Avalanche comes through. They'll take out Bignum. Burrow Strike hits. Echo Slam going to be used by Biber. But here comes Daxic. He's got the Metamorphosis trying to break down the side of Team Spirit, but he's tossed up. Fissure hits. He's going to be in a lot of trouble. Cyclone up is going to be this Omni Knight, so that's going to stop him from healing Daxic. But there's the Manta Style with the Sunder onto ILTW. It might bring down this Tiny, but he's able to get out at the Sacrificial Lamb of Earthshaker, so it is a 2-for-2. But Daxic just showing how strong he is. Not keeping in control long enough is that Brewmaster on the Omni Knight. Are able to get that Sunder off. So 12-6 in favor of Team Spirit. All the while, Illidan is just farming up, pushing this tier 2 over top. So he's finding farm. He's got a BKB now. he was not involved in that last fight, which was pretty close, pretty even, with Terrorblade doing so much now, 3-1-2 with that Manta style. But if you add Illidan into the fray, it could start to be very one-sided in Team Spirit's favor. So it looks as though Omni Knight is going to go for that Radiance, and he's got 4,000 gold saved up, so he's able to buy that Sacred Relic, but he might just save up in full for the Radiance. Force Staff next for the Earthshaker, ILTW. Started the AC. Is this the rest of the AC coming in? No. Actually stopped that, taking the Hyperstone and going for the BKB next as well. So you've got it on the Razor here. You're going to have it decently soon for this Tiny. And you'll finally have the AC on the Brewmaster. It does take this bottom tier 2. So now they've made their way up to 7,000 net worth lead. Terrorblade still behind, now going for the Scotty next. That'll be when Terrorblade does hit kind of a peak. Obviously, he doesn't fall off, but he hits a nice little power surge right there. Maybe we see more fights turn in favor of Gambit. Got the Force Staff Blink Dagger out on the Sand King. Take a look over at Bignum with the Mech Arcane Boots, going for the Guardian Greaves and then the Ags. Look over at ILTW. Ice Blast thrown over top. Helping out the side of Gambit, getting ready to go in on this Tiny. Meanwhile, mid, Spirit just trying to force rotation back, making sure they can protect their Tiny, but if they even lose their Tiny, they'll at least take a tower. So the smoke is back. Gambit possibly looking to fight. DK Phobos is here. The smoke's going to be broken. The blink away. They spot this for now. They know the rest of the team is coming. The blink burrow strike on Biver, but the avalanche comes through as well as the toss. I always want to fly has this ulti going off with the hand of God. Isle of Twin's going to drop. So it's a 4-times killing streak taken away of Daxic. Burrow strike comes down on Isle of Twin, who might be in a little bit of trouble. The Ice Blast comes through. Hits on this Terrorblade. Manta Style not going to avoid that. The BKB as well as the Guardian Angel coming out from Omni Knight. That was actually the BKB used by Illidan, and just trying to hit away at this Terrorblade, but here comes the Epicenter as well as the Burrow Strike. Down goes Illidan. They look for more. 2 dead on the side of Team Spirit. They'll finally take out the Witch Doctor. Earthshaker getting chased down. Cheshire Cat going in deep, getting the kill with the help of Bignum, and it ends up being, so far, a 3, now a 4-for-1 in the favor of Gambit. Again, just showing how strong this Terrorblade is, especially with the team he's got around him right now. With the control they have, they turn that fight around and take it, and end up swapping him out. 3,700 net worth in their favor. All you gotta do is believe in the Terrorblade, and he'll bring this game back. Pretty simple. Even with that BKB, Illidan seeming a little bit weak in that fight. Now you've got the Aegis again. That's both Roshans going the way of Gambit. Metamorphosis up in 76 seconds. They'll wait for that. That gives Daxic enough time to farm this Scotty. And as Taylor Swift once said, it would be trouble, trouble, trouble for the side of Team Spirit once he does grab that Scotty. And for that reference, I do apologize. That was... I should just leave. With the Aegis, Metamorphosis up in 40. Gambit shouldn't really be scared of defending or really even going in for a fight. But with Metamorphosis down, this should be the opportunity that Team Spirit take to maybe pop the Aegis and find a fight of their own. They still have to respect the power that comes out from the rest of the team. They've got this gem picked up for the Tiny. Just got that Shadow Blade. And that finished BKB at 10 seconds. Again, this is a lot of respect, opening up a lot of space for Daxic. 5,100 gold saved up. Radiance here on the Omni Knight. Gambit starting to pull this game back. Wouldn't be surprised if they really do find themselves a win after all is said and done. Ice Blast landing on 2 as well as the Fissure. Cold Feet not going to proc, but DK Phobos deep with that Thunderclap as well as the Bruce Split. You take a look at Daxic. This damage is being stolen by Illidan. The Echo Slam comes through. They finally pop the Aegis on this Terrorblade. Doesn't have Metamorphosis for a while, and actually he popped that Metamorphosis and went down anyway. They'll kill off the Omni Knight. They'll look for more. Bignum in a lot of trouble. Epicenter comes through, but not going to be enough. They look at Daxic once again, and they'll take him out. It's going to be 3, now 4. Cheshire Cat might be in a little bit of trouble, but they'll take the win 4-for-1 in favor of Team Spirit. So even with that Aegis, Daxic controlled enough. And this time, Illidan holding strong to take all that damage away from this Terrorblade and throw it right back on the side of Gambit, winning that fight, and now looking for a tier 3. So it was a nice move on the back lines by DK Phobos, getting that blink with the Thunderclap. Oh, in a lot of trouble is this Witch Doctor. He'll throw the ult out, but that's not doing anything, just you dying. Omni Knight with the repel. They've also got, Burrow Strike on a 3. They'll take out the Earthshaker. Now they look for more. DK Phobos doesn't have that Bruce Split for 30 more seconds, but they'll look at Cheshire Cat with the static link being broken almost immediately. Only 8 damage taken the way of Illidan. This will be enough time for them to try and back off. Cheshire Cat as well as G not going to be hit by that Ice Blast. And they have successfully defended the tier 3 down to under half health. So 9,000 net worth lead here for the side of Team Spirit. Gambit again. I'm always expecting Terrorblade to just be Terrorblade at this point. Still saving up for that Scotty. You take a look at Cheshire Cat, still has the gem, is the only one who did survive in that onslaught over bottom. Tiny nearby ILTW is next to this Sand King, actually heading over top, possibly going for FNG. Would be an easy kill there, and there's the Scotty bought out in full for this Terrorblade. Daxic also with the double damage now going into that Butterfly. Sand King, 2 heroes over top for Team Spirit. Everybody in the trees just kind of hiding for right now. Burrow Strike hits. There's the Ice Blast as well as the Cold Feet. Fissure hits. That should proc, but no, the Force Staff gets him out of range. These 2 supports are able to back off to the rest of their team on the side of Team Spirit. Here comes ILTW. A lot of Gambit are here. They're going to find this opportunity. The Sentry Ward is out for Team Spirit, but the Burrow Strike comes through on an Earthshaker. In a lot of trouble as the Metamorphosis pop with the Scotty. So much damage coming through. The Fissure only going to hit on the Sand King. They'll take out one. TPing away will be the rest of Team Spirit as well as walking away. You lose that Earthshaker. You know your team fight's not going to go as well because he's got that Blink Echo Slam ready to go.
Dyer's top tower is under attack. Dyer's top tower has fallen.
So now Daxic with that Metamorphosis able to take the tier 2. Still continuing to farm, look for that Butterfly. You just see the extra damage coming through with the Scotty. The ability that Terrorblade has to clean up these fights. Team Spirit, while being ahead 6,000 net worth, have to be very careful in taking these fights. One wrong move and Terrorblade wipes you. And the game is turned on its head. So G now looking for the BKB. Bigman's still looking for that Ags in that position for Chen. This offlane Omni Knight's farm is gotten a lot better. He's still behind the Brew. The 3 cores do follow, or the 3 cores from Team Spirit do follow this Terrorblade, who's only up just a bit on Illidan, who has gone to that Ags. So Ags BKB as well as the SNY. BKB already down to 8 seconds. We'll see how much that affects him coming into the late areas of this game 1. As the team's starting to show over mid, an illusion of Terrorblade comes forward. There's Daxic. Cold Feet placed on an illusion of Daxic. You gotta run a little bit, buddy. But now Fissure lands as well as the Ice Blast into the Echo Slam. And so much trouble's gonna be Daxic. There's the Avalanche with the toss. Down goes Daxic. And it's an easy kill there for Team Spirit. Almost like FNG put Cold Feet on the wrong Terrorblade on purpose to bait Terrorblade to try and kill him in the trees. With Earthshaker here, they'll get the easy kill. Burrow Strike lands on one. Avalanche as well as the toss. Cheshire Cat in a lot of trouble. They've got the Guardian Angel as well as the Hand of God coming in from both this Chen as well as the Omni Knight, but it's not going to keep Cheshire Cat alive. They'll also take the kill onto the Witch Doctor who threw his ult. So only 3 are alive right now. You don't want to buy back on the Terrorblade just yet. The toss all the way with that 3-point shot is the Tiny. Taking out the Omni Knight. Bignum dies, and those 3 don't have buyback. The only one who has it is Terrorblade. And Terrorblade doesn't have Metamorphosis for 6 more seconds, so that's probably what he's waiting for before he buys back. still holding the buyback. Alright. A little bit of taunting going on from both sides. They'll lose the mid set of racks. They'll lose the bottom set of racks. Terrorblade not looking to buy back at all. It's now all of a sudden jumped into a 20,000 net worth lead for the side of Team Spirit. Still those tier 2 standing, and that's almost the only reason that tier 3 is standing top as well. It was a very nice fight from Team Spirit, really pulling ahead. We take a look at the graph here, just really jumping down from 8,000 to 20,000 in terms of experience as well as the... We'll take the tier 2. You missed. So they lose that top shrine. Earthshaker now going for the Shadow Blade. FNG with that Spirit Vessel. They have the smoke to play with. DK Phobos, he's got the Ags as well. And he'll have the Ags come level 2. Avalanche Toss Fissure. Down goes Witch Doctor. Very quickly in the blink of an eye. I was going to say, Brewmaster, once he gets this minus 65 second Primal Split cooldown with the Ags, it's going to be a lot for Team Spirit to work with. Basically, just throw Primal Split out whenever you feel like. And using it isn't as detrimental to your team fight because it's off cooldown very quickly. So Illidan pushing over mid while the rest of the team is here over top. They do smoke up, maybe fake posturing on this top lane. They'll send Illidan here for now. They've got the Shadow Blade available on this Tiny, knowing that that is just an illusion as the blink in as well as the Primal Split. So they'll go in. Daxic with the repel. He's in that Metamorphosis Swarm with the Ice Blast coming through. He is repelled up. The BKB pop by Illidan. It's short right now as it is about only 6 seconds. But now the static link on the Daxic stealing so much damage. Looking over the Omni Knight getting quite low. They'll change their attention to Big Gnome, but that's the epicenter as well as the Barrel Strike. Just not enough for the kill on Illidan. The toss back of the Witch Doctor. It ends up being 2 dead in Big Gnome and G. And GG is called by the side of Gambit. Team Spirit take game 1 in this first best of 3 of the day. So Team Spirit, they hold back this Terrorblade. Always a fear of coming back with the Terrorblade on the other side. But Team Spirit hold it together for game 1. 26-13, 36 minutes in. And Team Spirit, they look really good right there. Especially DK Phobos playing very well in that brew in a lane that I thought might not go his way. There was really no aggression in the early game. First 8 minutes or so. First blood was at about 7.5. And you take a look, 10-1 for DK Phobos, playing that brew, perfect to the T. And then Illidan, a couple of missteps there in the 2 deaths, but 5-2-11, that's always fine. Ags as well as the refresher on Illidan. And then you take a look at ILTW with the E-Blade to finish off that game with the MKB, 5-1-13. Top of the net worth was Illidan. Close was Daxic. If he had a probably better lineup around him, that game would have gone a little bit better. But Gambit, they got to go back to the drawing boards into this game to Team Spirit win game 1. I'm your caster, BCop, at BCop92 on Twitter. Follow me on Twitch and on Twitter to know when I'm casting. Get those notifications. I tweet about it all the time to tell you when I'm casting. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. We'll be back with game 2 in just a moment. Stay right there.